Hi, Donna Shea here, social emotional learning specialist in Massachusetts. I'm here with a public service video today that I was thinking is not exactly along the lines of social emotional learning, but yet it is. Because we teach kids or we teach each other or we know that eavesdropping on other people's conversations is not polite. Well, I think most of us have realized that our smartphones are eavesdropping on us all the time. And yeah, it's supposed to be for targeted marketing and all of that, but I don't know how comfortable you are with your phone listening in to your conversations. And this just what hammered this home for me and why I'm bringing this up today is yesterday I was talking with my significant other, Mike, about a Murphy bed. Now, how often in your life do you really like string the words Murphy bed together? And it was just a conversation. I wasn't searching for them. And the next thing I know, I'm on Facebook and in my newsfeed is ads for Murphy beds. And that really upset me because I've been told, that they only record if you use the trigger word like "Hey Google" or that type of thing. So I don't believe that. I believe that it's your phone is listening. And so, what do you do about that? I mean, you can't be 100% private if you're online. It doesn't work that way. And that's what we teach the kids and the teens that we work with who have devices and smartphones is that you're never 100% private. But you can do things that can help. So one of the things that you can do to help your conversations not be listened to when you don't want them to is to disable the microphone permissions on your phone. Now, as I have a Samsung 8, which is up here on my screen, I'm going to show you how to do it on this phone, and most phones probably have similar options. The challenge is you can't just unilaterally disable the mic. You have to go into the apps and look for the permissions that you've given each app, and you are able to disable the microphone for each app. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I went through them all last night, and of course I found that the biggest ones that were, the microphone was allowed was Facebook Messenger, Google, some other smaller ones. So what you want to do is you want to go into your settings, which is the gear somewhere on your phone. Okay. And then you want to scroll down until you find apps, which is for me right here. And then it will show you all your apps. So what you want to do is start at the very beginning. I'll start with my AAA app. And if you scroll down, you'll see permissions. Okay. And many of the apps that you download will not have permissions granted. Now, when you download an app, it does ask you if you will allow all these permissions. So you are giving it the okay to do this. So it's always important to read which ones are going to be using things like your microphone or your camera. Now, let me go down to Facebook, because that's one of the ones that really you want to pay attention to. So if I open my Facebook app, and I did this last night, so I come down here and I go to permissions, right? And I have no permissions allowed set on it right now. But as you can see, you can go in and you can allow Facebook access to your contacts, access to your camera, and access to your microphone. Now, when I went in here, Facebook, I had given them permission for almost all of it, so they were all enabled. So right now I have them all disabled to give me a little bit more control over what information Facebook can take from my phone. You also want to be careful with your camera option, because if you want to record a video, it needs your microphone. So wherever your camera is on your phone, same thing. You want to go down to permissions. Right now I only allow it camera and storage, but you can also allow it your location and microphone and other things. So, and then Gmail, I think, or Google was the other one that was using the mic quite a bit. right? Because that they want to do your target marketing things. So right now, because I use it for email and my GPS and things like that, I've given it permission for my location and my contacts and things like that, so that I don't have to keep going back in and allowing it for me to work. But I did remove the permission for the microphone, which was automatically toggled on. Now, what this does do to me is it doesn't allow me to use my Hey Google, which is, the same as Siri, asking your phone a question. So when I say Hey Google now, nothing happens. So I would have to go back in and give Google permission in order for me to use that feature. But I can still go into Google and search for whatever it is I want manually by keyboarding it in, which is what I typically do anyway. The other app that used the microphone was Shazam, which I like to use when I hear a great song. I want to know what the song is. So what will happen is now when you go to use one of these features in your app that needs the microphone, it will ask you. Okay, so now you can say, okay, yeah, Shazam, I want you to use my microphone because I want to know this song. Not only does it remind you to turn it on, it's a good reminder to go back in and turn it off, which is extra steps for your privacy, but well worth it. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll, again, eavesdropping on people's conversation is not polite. It's what I teach kids, and so we shouldn't let these apps eavesdrop on us either. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again another time.